Present.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go! Hit it!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the JVaz Show.
Yeah, welcome back to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, JVaz, and you are listening to the JVaz Show. This show is brought to you by Snap and Design. If you need any photography work, if you need an album cover, any logo work, whatever you might need, make sure you hit up Snap and Design _ on Instagram. This show is also brought to you by Blackout ENT. If you need any videography, you need a music video, commercials, any promotional video editing, whatever the case is, make sure you hit up Blackout _ ENT on Instagram. Those links are on the description of the podcast. And moving on, today's show is a good one. It's a great one. It's a big one. I am joined by a special guest co-host, Smoothvega. Today's show, we sit down with a member of the legendary, iconic group, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Bizzy Bone. That's right. We sat down with Bizzy Bone and we talked about a lot of good things. We talked about Enigma. We talked about carbon monoxide. Yeah, you know them tracks. We talked about what it was like working with Tupac, Eazy-E, the Notorious B.I.G, artists he would like to work with, that and much more on the JVaz Show, baby. Let's go.
I'm hunting rabbits. I'ma let my nuts hang. In these tight pants until the butt spray or with a 12 gauge, I don't give a fuck, nigga, fuck them. Anybody, everybody with a bottle don't lie without my army. I ain't sorry, little nigga, this Bone Thugs and Harmony. Set it off, say shorty got the moss spur. Man, a gun so big, it'll blow a nigga brain in the crosswords. Little Ricky with the run swerve, is that sauce yours? Get the goddamn Converse. Chicken dipping like it's all served, but those lost words be the same.
Yeah, welcome back to the podcast. Once again, I am your host, JVaz. In today's show, I am joined by a special guest co-host from Fort Worth, Mr. Funky Town, Smoothvega. What up, baby?
What's going on? Fort Worth, Texas in the house, man. You already know what it is. Very excited to have the legendary, the iconic, the one and only Bizzy Bone in the building. You already know what it is.
Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good? Thank you guys for having me. I totally appreciate it. You know what I mean? I heard about all the noise y'all making and all the waves y'all making out here in the southern region. And it was a must that we show you guys some attention, show you guys some love, and really, really holler at y'all and, get y'all the best, the best Bizzy Bone that we can possibly get.
Thank you. We appreciate you taking the time to come on the show with us today. We appreciate it, man.
I appreciate you guys back.
Alrighty, so let's get right to business. Bizzy, first and foremost, it is an honor to have you on the show as a lifelong fan. So we're going to get right to the business, man. Carbon monoxide, Enigma, serious, fire, insane. Let me know what's really good. Let me know what's going on with Bizzy Bone right now. You're in this beast mode space right now. Talk to us.
Well, first of all, you can't kick my little brother ball over the fence. I got to go get Lazy Bones basketball. He came home all scraped up. You know what I'm saying? He got into a big fight with 3 dudes and 4 dudes. So he came home. So I'm big bro. I'm coming to go get his ball over the fence. But, all nonsense to the side, it was something that the fan base, and I'll say fan, I say fam with an M, because they've been with us for so long. They're like the people that love Bone. It's like a Bone cult. It's like a family. So they just kept getting at me like, you can't let this happen. You can't let this happen. You can't let this happen. And these are the ones that buy the merchandise. These are the ones that buy the records. These are the reason why your points and your percentages and your mechanicals and your Spotifys and all the rest of these things keep bringing in money for, 2 decades plus. So it was an accumulation of that made me say, okay, it's time to freaking speak out about this stuff and settle it once and for all, as far as, just settle the whole thing about the older generation and the younger generation. And, we came in the game at 14, 15 years old. We ain't come in the game in our 20s. You know what I'm saying? I was able to get out of my contract with Eazy-E because I signed before I was 18 type vibe. So I know what a young generation is. And I know what, motherfucker, you grown. Is as well. You know what I mean? So I wanted to sort of put that out there so the energy was a little better. De La Soul needs to be able to use auto-tune because that's the newest, youngest, hottest, flyest thing to do so they can become current and relevant. It should never be, nah, they can't do auto-tune because they a little older. They musicians, they artists. That's what people love now. And and they should be able to have the opportunity to do that. But the energy that's being put out there is, you know, that Willie Lynchman slave mentality. The young better than the old, the light better than the dark. You know, that bullshit. You know what I mean? That we learned years and years and years and years and years ago. You know what I mean? So I felt like it needed to be retaught. So that's what I'm doing. I'm basically reteaching it. So, you know, in a more modern terminology and, you know, bringing it. You know, like I said, you call me OG, bitch, you as old as me. We standing on the front line. We standing on the front line together. If I got a rifle at 35 and we at war, you 18, you got a rifle too. You know what I mean? So this supposed to be a war that we fight together. Hip hop is a battle that we all fight together, that we bring the inner city up. Just because we doing good right now don't mean it's all gravy. You know what I'm saying? We doing good, yeah. But it has a lot to do with De La Soul, Sugar Hill Gang, and them bullshit contracts that they had to deal with. You dig? So that's basically what Carbon Monoxide and Enigma and the third one is about. You know, really just answering the questions. I don't mean to be long-winded, pardon me.
Nah, hey, by all means, man. And this is about the fans. You know, the fans want to hear this. They want to know, and we want to give it to them. You know, and for me, being a lifelong fan, may I add, when I heard Enigma, I was blown away. You know, I was blown the fuck away. I was like, yo, Bizzy's in his bag right now. Bizzy got busy. You know what I'm saying? Bizzy got busy. And the best part
Shouts out to Yuck Mouth and the Loonies, man.
You know what I'm saying? Bizzy got busy. But, you know, I'm going to tell you this. So Blaze is a good friend of mine. I've known Blaze for over 10 years. Blaze produced both of these records. You know what I'm saying? And man, I don't know what's going on with y'all, man, but y'all got crazy chemistry right now. I got to give a shout out to Blaze, man. Can you just let me know a little bit about that? Because, you know, I really want to put my mans over right now. Let him know that, hey, you know, we listening over here, man.
It's look, he's been a great friend. He's been a great comrade, and he's been a great fellow artist for a while with us now, close to 2 to 3 years. He's been cooking, and he's a self-sufficient, independent artist. He's also an artist, not just a producer and an editor and the different things. He puts on many, 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 many hats. So when you see a talent like that, he worked with Crazy Bone before, and he's worked with LMA, he's worked with B. Simone, he's worked with this one, that one, this one, this one, that one. But he's so good that it's just a perfect fit, you know, for me to have his side and be like, come on. Yeah, whatever shine I have, you deserve it. Because he's dealt with so many big artists that once they get to the level of million followers here or television show here, or, you know what I'm saying? Forget about his genius. Guy is a genius. He's a musical genius. He's a creative genius. You know what I mean? He's a social media genius. And he's my brother and he's my friend. And, you know, I haven't had a cool friend like that since I lost my little brother, Capo Confucius, 7 Signs. So I hold him dear in my heart and in my mind. And that's first. And then the music comes after that. You know what I mean? Because the music comes from the heart, man. It comes from love, man. It comes from respect. It comes from camaraderie and things of that nature. All the words and the addendums and shit and the I.E. things that come after that shit, you know? So definitely, man, I appreciate you even saying it. And remember, that's BLAIS.
Yeah, shout out to my brother Blaze. I mean, look, I've been knowing him for 10 plus years. Everything you said about him is exactly how I feel about him. I consider him a very close friend of mine as well. Shout out to him. Shout out to the family over there, man. And man, I really appreciate you looking out for him that way. You know, he has the utmost respect for you, and he's put in a lot of great work. And I'm just so excited about Enigma and Carbon Monoxide and all the other great things that you guys got coming.
Oh, let me tell you, man, he called me, I believe, 2 days ago. He said, B, I'm finna get married. I said, you finna take the plunge, huh? So, congratulations is so due in order for him. And, he's humble. He never, what I just said to you, he don't even think like that. He don't think in terms of the artists that he has dealt with beforehand. I mean, this is a real good person. He don't even just keep moving. He just keep chugging along. He just keep going. You know what I mean? So definitely, man. Big love, man. Big love, man.
Bizzy. I got a question for you, man. There's a lot of new artists right now, and there's a lot of hype around them. But as we know, hype comes and goes. However, you are part of the iconic Bone Thugs and Harmony, and you have had the opportunity to work with legends like Tupac, Eazy-E, like you just mentioned, the Notorious B.I.G. Is there anybody else you wish you could have had, or at least anybody else that you wish you could work with before everything's all said and done?
You mean as far as newer artists?
Just any artist, period, that you wish in general, yeah.
Or in general. There's a lot of artists I'd love to work with, just artistry-wise, but it's always something in the way. Let me just cut to the chase. Eminem. That's baby cousin. That's Dr. Dre cousin. But since Cray put out the record he put out, the Clash of the Titans was kind of aimed and directed at him. You know what I mean? So I think that kind of blocked my area. But him, I had an opportunity to work with Jay-Z. We battled back in the day. You know what I mean? But it just wasn't right at the time. I think it would have been right a little later on after Heaven's movie. So he would have been a feather in the cap, just lyrically, just on some lyrical stuff. Because, when I battled him, he didn't know how to rap fast. And then when he started learning it and he was able to keep up, it would have been more each other complimenting each other, and it wouldn't have been a battle. So him as well. And it's other artists like that's gone. Michael, of course. I would have loved to work with Prince. I wanted to work with Prince when I did the song Murder May, the month of May. But I never put out the song because, for one, I probably wouldn't have been able to get it cleared. And I was talking about murdering motherfuckers in the month of May, and I didn't want to start no shit because Bone had a whole bunch of shit popping. So, I was just, everybody said, he's saying murder me. No, I'm saying murder May, the month of May. You know what I'm saying? It's the murder season. So, sort of like, just the melody of, people in the streets, because back in the day, Sherm and Bomb, blah, 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 blah. I don't mean to get off the subject, but those kind of artists that I would have loved to work with that have gone and have passed, So those are like on my J, M, and it's a few others I can't name offhand, but definitely M, because he's a heat holder like me. He can rap, like he can just rap, and he knows how to mix and master, and I appreciate stuff like that. So yeah, definitely them. And it's a few more, but I just right off the bat, them and some of the legends that we lost, of course.
All right. So, we're talking about all these artists that you wish you had the opportunity to work with, Eminem, and you have some artists like Drake, Kendrick Lamar, A$AP Rocky that pay homage to what you guys have done in the industry. How does it feel to have, these guys are, legends themselves, in the making still. How does it feel to have those guys pay homage to Bone Thugs and Harmony?
I mean, it feels really, really good because it's genuine homage. A lot of people pay homage to older artists when they're at their lowest point, when they're doing so bad, and then the artists that's paying homage are doing so good. And it's like, if you're paying so much homage, then let's work together. Let's get him back relevant and hot so he can make amends off of what he's doing. So being that I'm in a good position and I made great decisions, and it feels good. But there's a flip coin to it, to where it can start to become sarcasm and want your fan base. Let me get your fan base. We the next ones coming up.
Yeah.
So they'll use beauty to disguise the monster, aka homage to disguise the jack move. So I'm aware. But I'm doing good. God's been great to me. My team is strong. They make sure that I'm eating. They make sure that I'm working. They make sure that we're up. So it feels really, 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 really good. Really good. And I'm very appreciative. Drake has always been a good guy. ASAP has always been a good dude to me. Always been kind. Always been nice to me. Always. So I have nothing but love for these artists. Like nothing but love. Real.
That's awesome. Well, and even for me, I'm gonna stop here for a second, and we talk about paying homage. And for me, being able to be on the phone with you it's a big deal. You know what I'm saying? I grew up huge fan. Heaven's Movie changed my life. It taught me how to create music. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, the very first time I went to the studio in 1998, we were listening to Thugs Cry on the way over there. And you spoke of your brother earlier in this conversation, and there's a record on that album with him called Ready for Warfare. That was my favorite song on the album, special record, because I knew that he had passed. Love that record. Speaking of Heaven's Movie, though, I noticed it's not on digital. It's not on Spotify or Apple Music. Is it ever going to be? Just a question.
Yeah, well, I've always been the artist to try to own my masters. And that's one of the records that I had a great attorney that after a certain amount of time, it reverted back to me. And I got it. This was back when the 6-inch reels was on. So I have great plans for this record and, for product placements and movies and different things of that nature. So we're looking forward into moving that record into a classical position. So it's just what right now the Bone Thugs and Harmony catalog is leading the charge on that. So the mechanicals and all of those rest of those things are multiplying, triplicating, quadrupling, and so on and so forth. So I'm just really waiting for my lane in order to be able to bring that and leaving it as a precious gem. So I don't want to put it up and start selling it and be on that level. I really want to use it for something precious that goes with the brand and the legacy. Because when you do solo stuff and you're from a group, you have to kind of tiptoe around marketing and promotion so you make the right decisions and one thing doesn't overshadow the next thing. It's a fucking ninja game. But if you play it right and you bring in enough people to give you suggestions and then you look at the numbers and you weigh out your decisions, you're able to go in the right direction. I've been in the business for a long time. So, that's what's going on with Heaven's Movie and why it isn't streaming or any of that stuff. Is because I own the masters to it.
Makes a lot of sense.
That makes sense.
I'll be looking for it. So I'll be looking for it on Spotify. Like, yo, where's it at? Where's it at? I need to get that fixed.
Hey, it's the same thing with Thug. It's the same thing with Thug Mentality. Because Cray and me, we basically had the same attorney dealing with our solo stuff together. So the same amenities that I was given for Heaven's Movie is the same amenities that he was given for Thug Mentality. So you won't find, I want to listen to Thug Mentality, brother. That was a monster double record. I mean, that was just crazy. Like the genius in him, like, let me just let loose. It was like he was clearing out the vault. And that's one hell of a record. So definitely, I feel you. And I appreciate that love on my project. I've always been an open artist. I always talked about the stuff that others wouldn't. I'm not sheltered. I'm free. I'm that foster kid. I'm that choir boy. I'm those things. You know what I mean? I'm not afraid to be in touch with who I am and things that may have happened in my childhood. The kidnapped kid, Adam Walsh, John Walsh, America's Most Wanted, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my stance with that record, to really let the world know who they dealing with. Like, this is who I am. You know what I mean? So Anyway, I appreciate that. Definitely.
Changed my life, brother.
BG, I'm a Naki fan. I hit you with one of these combinations. How you going through complications? And then I do my Takashi dance. Schmurder was a case that they gave me. Dear God, it's me a little lazy. We was robbing niggas without no father figures. And that's the way that Wish got shot by crazy. It's karma, niggas. I put you in garage mode. Mobs to the shots fly. These niggas don't want no smoke. I give them carbon monoxide. Let me hit you with this lock.
Speaking of classics, nowadays the music that comes out, in my opinion, I don't think, years from now people are going to be talking about Gucci Gang, or at least I hope not. But, in your opinion, which is like your favorite collab that has, stood the test of time as far as being a classic? Because again, nowadays there's not a lot of music that we could consider a classic track or a classic collaboration. So in your opinion, which one would that be as far as your career goes?
Collab-wise?
Collab-wise, yes, sir.
Okay, we got a couple of them now. Okay, Phil Collins. Definitely Phil Collins. Definitely Big. Definitely E. Definitely Pac. See. And it's a few more. But right offhand, Phil Collins, Pac, Eazy, Big. And another one that I wasn't on, the Mariah Carey collabs that they did. I think it was 2 collabs that they did with Mariah Carey. So that also is a classic as well. I wasn't on them, but my brand was on them. So I believe that those are classic collaborations, hip-hop wise and R&B wise and touching wise. Because, the Take Me Home was supposed to be a spinoff from Crossroads, to touch the people and things of that nature, and it really did. The record did well, and it just really, those to me stand out.
Definitely.
Like definitely stand out. I get speechless when I think about it, because I think Phil Collins is still alive, but I don't want to misquote, and the gentleman's gone, but the rest of the 3 are gone, and Mariah Carey's still alive too. So I get kind of choked up, not in a sentimental way, but just like, damn, wow, that happened, BB. It really happened. So it just does.
But that's it's like the Mount Rushmore of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? It's like the Mount Rushmore of hip hop.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You've done that. So, so as far as we talk about your career, we've talked about almost 3 decades of music at this point now. What's next? Touring. Do we have an Enigma tour coming? What?
Yeah, we got the Carbon Monoxide tour coming. Definitely coming. We're gonna hit the road because people want to hear it live. People want to see how I'm doing. They want to make sure that I'm still active and moving. So we definitely doing that. Definitely doing shows with my crew as well. And that's the good thing about my crew that people don't understand. We can branch off like Wu-Tang. Method Man can go ahead and do some stuff with Red while the rest of the Wu-Tang continue to work. And it's still a part of the marketing and the promotional plan that we have followed consistently for over 20 years. And that's what's so good about my brand, Bone Thugs and Harmony. It could be 2 of us, it could be 3 of us, it could be 4 of us, or it can be all 5 of us. But each time we put out some solo stuff, the particular artist that puts that record out has the ability to maneuver and go out and make his bread and do his thing. It's never pressure to have to be, right there. Flesh did 10 years in prison. You know what I'm saying? He don't got overseas privileges. He can't go do Canada. He can't go do Australia. He can't go do Brazil. He can't go do the Netherlands. He can't go do certain things. But we have the kind of brand where it makes it okay. So, yeah, I just wanted to say that. So it was fully understood for 2020 and beyond. So they know how to look at Bone, how to treat Bone, how to look at it, and keep it pushing,
Yeah, for sure. No, I definitely want the fans to know that the tour is coming, when the tour is coming. I've been fortunate enough to see a live Bizzy Bone show. Very first show I ever saw actually was your show as a solo artist. And if you haven't seen a Bizzy Bone show, go see a Bizzy Bone show. It is serious. It is energetic. It's fire. So just wanted to put it out there for the fans to know that.
I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. And I try my best to keep it funky. I try to keep it $1.50 and a quarter. Make sure that all my lyrics are said. Make sure all my melodies are on point. Make sure that all my harmonies are where they need it. Try to make sure that, and fearless. I try to be fearless when I'm on the stage and not be afraid of anything at all.
Bizzy, you were speaking on the brand of Bone Thugs, and to talk a little more about that, do you currently have any artists coming out of your label? Any upcoming artists?
Well, I have artists that I'm supporting, and I've always been about ownership, and I make sure that they aren't binded and connected to anything that I'm getting the lion's share majority of. Like my son, I opened up 2 labels for him so he can work up under that. Blaze, of course, I'm working with. Bloodline Harmony, I'm working with. My niece, Ajane, one of the hottest vocalists that's coming out, I'm working with. So I'm really taking it to family and close friends first, because when I first opened up my first record label, we had Capo, we had Big Beats and Change the World, and we made a lot of noise. Majesty on the Blade soundtrack, and we made a lot of noise. We did a lot of positive things. We sold a lot of records, my label or whatnot, set aside. And then everybody had passed away and died. So it kind of made me sour. You know what I mean? Because it was just like, damn, like every artist on my label got murdered or died. Man. So it just kind of made me like, yeah, just, how you just kind of walk away from the labels aspect of yourself. And then so my kids, I'm teaching them to be their own label. My niece, my nephews, I'm teaching them to be their own label. My friend, I'm teaching him, well, he's already light years ahead of being taught anything. So that's where my direction is. Blaze, Bloodline Harmony, YB Sinatra, my son Bone, Little Bizzy, Junior, my son, Bloodline Harmony, the entire group of my nephews and my sons, and Ajane, my niece. So I'm focused on that, new, young, fresh talent, and I'll be dropping music all year, and you'll be hearing them real soon. Like, you got Bizzy's in the house. It's got 2.1 million views right now. That's my son. That's Junior. So he out there standing on his own, doing his Bigfoot thing, got his Sasquatch on. I'm so proud of him and being a man. And so it's working out for me, and my family is blessed. And that's what I'm doing, and that's what I'm bringing forth and putting my shine on the best I can.
Awesome, man. Was talking about your family, you got a YouTube channel, Jam TV, where you do a lot of family things. What's your plan with that?
I mean, well, I believe that it's my lane, man. Like, we said earlier in the interview, you got the America's Most Wanted, being kidnapped, found by John Walsh, being in foster homes, things of that nature, going to school with black eyes and shit, and because mama's dude couldn't handle the sight of her last dude in my face, and all of these different things I've been very vocal about and wanting to, tell other people it's all right. You feel me? So it was right up my lane to do something a little up close and personal. Instead of going the love and hip hop route, I wanted to be able to own my own. I don't want to get no little $25,000, $35,000 check, that a brother gonna spend up in 2-3 goddamn days trying to keep up or whatnot. I'm good on that aspect with classical stuff that I've already done eons ago. So I figure ownership, and the YouTube thing, and I'm in love. I got a second lease on life with my new son. And it gives people an inside look so they can look at my channel, see the newest, hottest music that I'm doing. And then when they want a little something different, they can just see my day-to-day. How to take out your lady, you feel me? How to raise your motherfucking son. How to enjoy your life. How to take the lights, the cameras, add it to what you're doing, and still have a sense of normality. In this day of social media, everybody's an actor.
Yeah.
Everybody's a superstar. Instagram, everybody's a superstar. So what I'm trying to do is give them a look on how to still be normal. It's all right to be normal with the camera. So that's basically what I'm doing.
That's amazing. And you know what, man? I gotta say that just as a fan of yours, and just growing up listening to you, I'm very, very happy for everything that you got going right now. So congratulations is in order on behalf of myself, on behalf of the JVaz show as well.
Yeah.
Because I mean, look, to be coming out in 2019 with almost 3 decades under your belt, you know what I'm saying? Like dropping these records, doing Jam TV, doing all these great things. It's a true testament to the genius, to your brilliance, and just how great you really are, man. So I just have to let you know that we are proud of you over here in Texas, man. And as a fan, you're representing and you're making all of Bone Thugs and Harmony's legions and legions of fans super happy with the things that you're doing right now, and to see you happy, to hear this energy, you know what I mean, this second lease of life, because you know it feels like that right now. You know, I've seen it, you know, I'm hearing it and watching it. It's just beautiful, man.
Yeah, well, the world is a beautiful place, and the working in the industry and the lights and the cameras can beat you down if you don't take a second out to breathe and really, really get the best outlook on it that you can possibly get on. And I appreciate you guys, Mr. Baz up there, and what you guys are doing as well, keeping hip hop alive. No matter, no age limit. This isn't sports. I'm not breaking my goddamn leg, and I'm out of the game. You know, I'm good. You know, Guns N' Roses are still touring. They're in their 60s. So, you know, I'm hoping that hip hop can reach that level of respect for themselves. You know what I mean? So we can start realizing what this whole thing is about. You know, so that's what we're doing now. Carbon Monoxide, Enigma, soon to come, running time. So I appreciate you guys, and I got to give love to my fiance, JVaz, Jam TV, for everything that we're doing, Houston, Texas, and everything else that's going on too. So I can't forget Bay. She's such of a supporter for me. She's such of a backbone. She got my side so much. You know, it's like we're one. But I really need to let the world know what's going on with that as well. So, respect, and I think I'm doing it with Jam TV. So, you know.
Yeah. No, definitely. So before we wrap up here, I want to get your socials just in case the fans that don't know where to find you at, which is I know, but just to plug in the socials, and the website or anything else that you got coming. And
I'm on it, man. I'm on it. Instagram, Mr. McCain. On JCast Cassidy for my CC Instagram, Jam TV for the YouTube channel. Type in Bizzy Bone Jam TV; it'll get you directly there. From my Facebook, I am Bizzy Bone, and that's basically what we're working on, the new hotness. And you know, follow all my boys, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Crazy, Lazy, Wish, Flesh. All the fan pages that represent Bone Thugs and Harmony as well. We ain't greedy around here.
That's beautiful, man. Well, hey, we hope to hear another Bizzy Bone album soon, another Bone Thugs and Harmony album, and we're just looking forward to everything you got coming, man. I appreciate you taking this time to talk to us, to vibe with us, man. It is an honor again.
Definitely an honor.
You so much, Bizzy. And, man, it's about to go down, brother.
All the way ready, man, and I appreciate you guys, man. Carbon Monoxide, Enigma, running from one time, coming soon. Y'all be good. I'm going to go ahead and have me a little libation. Y'all be all right.
Yeah, that was Bizzy Bone of Bone Thugs and Harmony, man. Bone Thugs and Harmony, they've sold over 25 million records in the United States. They've won a Grammy. They are an iconic group, and they're still doing their thing, man. Big shout outs to them. Big shout outs to Premier Live Experience, my boy Smoothvega, for making this happen. And I hope you guys enjoyed the interview just as much as we did. And we're going to cut it short, man. That does it for us. Once again, big shout outs to Bizzy Bone and the whole Bone Thugs and Harmony family and all their fan base, like he said. Once again, make sure you guys follow us on all the social media pages at The JVaz Show. Check out the website, thejvazshow.com. And a big shout out to the whole JVaz Show team, the Prince Jay, my girl Myra, Shara, Raul, Chris, everybody behind the scenes. Big shout outs to them. And once again, make sure you guys tune in every Monday, every Wednesday for the interviews, exclusive interviews at the JVaz Show. Make sure you guys tune in every Friday for the special music episode, The Underdog. Once again, I am your host, JVaz. It's been a pleasure, and I am out. You are listening to the JVaz Show, baby. Let's go.